Hey, what's up, everybody? First question in the series, AI versus ag. How do farmers choose a tractor brand? I thought this was a great place to start. Every farm has a tractor, and it could be a really big decision, a very important decision. And so I thought it'd be important to see kind of what AI had to say. What about this big decision? How do we make it? So I'm going to talk about it. It's also going to pop up here on the screen. The first point that ChatGPT gave me was dealer proximity and support. Man, this is right on. That's right what I would say is probably the first thing to consider when a farmer is looking at buying a tractor. How close is that nearest reliable dealer? No matter what color your tractor is, it's going to break down at some point. You're going to need parts. You're going to need service things, and so yeah, ultimately you need to have a dealer close by, or at least a way to get those parts quickly. So yeah, right on with that first point. I would say that's up there for sure. Reliability and performance is point number 2 that ChatGPT gave. Yeah, definitely. You want to buy a tractor that's going to be reliable and perform very well. And that depends a lot on what you're farming, what you're using it for. But yeah, again, right on AI, I'd say I'd agree with that. I can't necessarily say, yeah, like it says, it's soil type, terrain, and climate. Yeah, I think those are important things and can vary by region, which can also vary by maybe what tractor then you're going to buy. The third point here, price, financing, and resale value. Yeah, tractors are a major investment, and I'd agree with AI in saying that. I do think it's interesting. I would say price definitely plays a role, and I think ranking at number 3 here would be pretty high up in the list. It definitely is important. Like, don't get me wrong, we don't want to be spending a lot of money on tractors, and having the ability to finance is important as well. But yeah, maybe I wouldn't quite put it at number 3. Maybe swap it with number 4 here, technology and features. I think a lot of people maybe would put this above point number 3. Reason being, maybe you'd be willing to spend a little bit more to go with a certain brand of tractor if it has more technology and features. I think especially now with all the new technology coming out within the ag industry, I think point 4 should probably be bumped up to point 3 here in my own mind, I guess. Take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, point 4, technology and features, GPS, guidance, auto steer. A lot of these are super common in most brands of tractors, I would say, but more prominent in other brands, or in certain brands, I should say, than others. Maybe they already have systems, and then it kind of hints on that with the second bullet point that integrates best with their existing equipment. If you already have a certain brand of tractor, a certain brand of GPS guidance system, maybe it only works with certain brands of tractors, and so that's going to kind of make you stick with that brand a little bit more. Definitely right on there, I would say. Again, I think it's more important than price when it comes down to it. So point number 5, personal experience and tradition. Yeah, that plays a role in anybody's decision making when they're choosing a tractor. If you grew up mostly riding John Deere tractors, your case, yeah, you're gonna maybe want to stick with those a little bit more. Maybe you had a really positive experience with those tractors growing up and working on them. You're like, man, these are easy to work on, easy to fix, and maintenance is really easy. Or I would say when you're making that decision, maybe you have a really bad experience with a certain brand. Yeah, I worked at this one ranch or this one farm. They had this brand of tractors, and I hated driving it. Felt terrible. The maintenance was super high. The grease zerks you could never get to. They were always a pain in the butt. Yeah, maybe I could see this point driving you either towards a certain brand or away from a certain brand too. Point number 6, specific farm needs. Yes, not every farm is the same. Depending on the crop, the soil type, the water that you guys are receiving in those areas per year, that can really change where your tractors, or what kind of tractor you might go with, because certain tractors offer certain benefits. Sometimes maybe you need more power. Other times maybe you don't need power as much as you need the versatility side of things, or the technology side is more important than the power side. And I don't want to say all of this to necessarily negate that there are certain farms or certain brands do better. But also, I guess in my mind, I'm thinking of kind of a, not really large scale farm, but similar to my family farm. We've got a few tractors, we use them often, but maybe even if you go into a smaller operation, yeah, you're looking at a whole different style of tractors that you'll need. You won't need as big of tractors, you won't need as powerful as tractors. You might not even need all the technology side of it because maybe your field plots are so small. But then going even large scale, yeah, maybe you need that technology. You need tractors that work in conjunction with one another. But ultimately, I think ChatGPT did a pretty good job with this first series, AI versus agriculture. I would agree with all these points that are made. I would maybe reorganize them a little bit. I think the dealer proximity is right at first. Reliability and performance, definitely number 2. I would probably do technology and features then as number 3. I would even put probably specific farm needs then at point 4, followed by the price financing, and then personal experience and tradition at last at 6. That's how I would organize that list in my own mind. A little different here than ChatGPT. Let me know though what you guys would maybe organize these, or what other points you would have. Speaking from my own experience, we run John Deere tractors, and I love them. They're easy to work on. We haven't had really too many major issues, but also going back to the point number 1, we've got dealers and support teams by us. We can get parts, we can get support right when we need them really quick, really easily. And that's the main reason we run John Deere. There's some people around us that run some other brands of tractors, but I know that they've had issues getting parts in the past, or even if they have technology within those tractors, if the technology side of it breaks, it's really hard to get somebody out there to work on things. And I know certain brands are better at this than others, but yeah, especially technology now, you know, a lot of those things you have to have the dealership work on them, or somebody certified by that dealership, and that can be really hard to find in certain areas. So like I said, we run John Deere tractors. Not to say that they never break down, because they do. All tractors do, but for the most part, we can get parts, we can get people to come out and fix on them and work on them to get them back going really quick, and it's worked out pretty well for us. I like the power. I really do like the controls and the technology side of it. We don't run the John Deere GPS system. We run, I can't remember the name of it now, but we run a different system, and it's been working pretty good for us too. But yeah, everybody's got their personal preference. I've driven a few other different brands of tractors, and for me, no other brand has quite the support, I guess, that you would say John Deere has, but also just the comfortability aspect of it. The controls, they just feel natural. They feel more like something that I've grown up using, because that's what I have. And I'm sure if I grew up using a different brand, maybe it would feel better. But I really do like our John Deere tractors. Like I said, I wouldn't choose anything else. Right where we are in our situation, what we're farming, John Deere has been the best. But maybe you guys are different. Maybe you're in a different region, a different area, and you like something else. Let me know in the comment what brand of tractors you guys use on your farm. It is a very important decision, and likely one of the first decisions if you were going to start farming that you're going to have to make. So let me know what brand of tractors you guys have and why down in the comments. Also, remember to continue to post questions in the comments that you want me to ask AI and talk about here in the future. Check out the YouTube, where I'm going to go more in depth on some of these things, and maybe pull in some people that are more specific to those topics to answer some more in-depth questions within those agricultural fields. So again, follow me on YouTube for more of that. Please like, share, and yeah, leave a comment below. Thank you guys.